Hello.
Hey, Alexia, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you? Thank you for asking.
You are totally welcome. I'm doing great. So, today on the show, we are going to talk about movies, more specifically, the movie that we saw this weekend, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
So, Alexia, yesterday, or still today, but on the show yesterday, we started talking about movies, and naturally, we got a little bit off topic because I started correcting your English and we started talking about movies more generally. But today we want to talk specifically about this movie by Quentin Tarantino. So, first, some ground rules.
Okay.
Do you know what ground rules are?
Regras do jogo.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you said no, I was going to say rules of the game. Yeah. So, some ground rules. When possible, let's try to keep all spoilers out of this episode.
Okay. Yeah,
But-
I hate spoilers.
Yeah, so no spoilers. We will be talking about the movie, some things about the movie and who's in it, things like that.
And you can read all of this on the internet. I mean, we are not talking about specific scenes and dialogues.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So, in general, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino, what'd you think?
I loved it. It's really Tarantino. For you to go and watch a Tarantino movie, you really have to be in the mood of it. You have to like it
Yeah, in the mood for it.
for it.
Yeah, so let's take a step back. Tarantino, in general, you are a fan, right? I would say a big fan.
Yes, but
Okay.
there is a comma there. I don't know much about him. I mean, every time that he does or he makes
He makes a movie.
a movie, I'll go watch it. That's for sure.
So I would say you're a super fan.
Yeah.
Not many directors that every time they come out with a new movie, you would go see him.
Yeah.
Probably good that you don't know that much about him. I don't know that much about him, but what I read, I think him as a person, he's a huge asshole. Naturally, if you've seen his movies, one could imagine that he's an asshole.
But he's a genius. So,
Yeah, so he's kind of one of those directors, you love him or you hate him.
yeah, and he does whatever he wanted to do, like he's Tarantino. I used to know a lot more about Woody Allen, but nowadays he's married to his daughter, so I don't like him anymore.
Speaking of assholes.
Yes, but if you put in balance,
Yeah, you could
like
say that.
numa balança, se você colocar numa balança, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, no. If you compare the two.
If I compare the two, I would say that I know more about Woody Allen than Tarantino. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, two famous directors, but not really comparable
No.
in terms of their movie style or
No,
production.
Tarantino must be an asshole, but he's not a crazy person just like Woody Allen is.
Okay, cool. So if you had to give a Rotten Tomatoes score to this movie, do you know what Rotten Tomatoes is?
I do.
So, as we learned in the last episode, Alexia wants to be a movie buff. She is an aspiring cinephile, which means you should know about Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is like the new IMDb. It's my go-to place when I want to know if a movie is good or not, and they have what they call a tomato score, which is just 1 through 100, what percentage of people liked it. They have one for like movie critics, like professionals, and then an audience score as well. So if you had to give your score, what would it be?
From 0 to 10?
No, it's on a percentage based of 100. So for example, very, very few movies have like 100%, like 90% still really good. I think they say above 70%, they still say that is a fresh tomato. And then Rotten Tomatoes are under that.
87%.
87, that's a damn good score.
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
What
think
about you?
I would say more or less 80.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, not a great movie.
No, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's not an outstanding movie.
Okay.
For me, outstanding movies were Django Livre, Free Django. How do I say that? Unchained Django.
Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Another movie by Quentin Tarantino, also starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jamie Foxx.
And Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds, also starring our friend Brad Pitt. So, can I say something about this movie?
Uh-huh.
It has a stacked cast.
An awesome cast.
Yes. So
the best of the best.
Not necessarily. So, a stacked cast is when you have a lot of stars or big names in one movie.
Yeah.
So if you see a movie and you just recognize a lot of people, okay, there are a lot of famous actors and celebrities in this movie, you can say, damn, this movie has a stacked cast.
So, Brad Pitt, Leo, Al Pacino,
Al Pacino,
the girl from Better Things, the girl from Stranger Things, Robin.
Yes. So let's slow down. So we have two of the biggest male stars of our time, Brad Pitt, who is 55 and still has six-pack abs.
He looks incredible.
Shaking her head like,
No, but he looks incredible. I wouldn't know that he's 55, and that's okay. He is aging well.
Yes, great. Leonardo DiCaprio.
45 years old.
Yeah, he's getting older as well. Al Pacino, quite old.
Almost 80?
No idea.
Yeah.
You said the girl from Better Things. So Better Things is a show that originally airs on FX, which is a channel in the US. But I believe we talked about Better Things before.
We did.
Yeah. I'm sure you can find it on Hulu or somewhere illegally on the internet. But she was on there. And Robin from Stranger Things, who, ironically, is the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, it's all connected. And on top of that, just to add to the stacked castness of this stacked cast, you had Emil Hirsch, who was the younger kid who you probably recognize him from Into the Wild.
Huh? Who was the younger kid?
Remember?
The Tex?
No, the couple that had the younger kid. So you had Roman Polanski in this movie, who was dating the girl, and then they had the younger kid that kind of stayed with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Emil Hirsch from Into the Wild.
That's sure.
You also had a brief appearance by Damian Lewis from Homeland, from Billions, from many, many things, and some other famous actors and actresses.
And that guy who appears as a cowboy in the middle of a scene with Leo. Do you remember that he was limp? No, quando é manco.
Yeah, you could say he's limping.
Yeah, he was limping. Do you remember him?
I don't recognize him.
I forgot his name, but that's fine.
Yeah, stacked cast. Definitely. So, what else about the movie? Would you recommend that people that even are not Tarantino fans, because I'm sure we have a lot of people listening right now, including myself, a lot of times when I think about Tarantino, I have to be in the mood. Like, I loved Inglourious Basterds. I enjoyed Django Unchained, but it's a lot of blood. His movies are kind of ridiculous. It seems a lot of like he's doing this super artistic, self-serving, narcissistic stuff. Would you recommend this to, let's say, your friend that doesn't know much about Tarantino or is not into it?
No, not at all. Because, as I said, for you to go and watch and spend money on that, and going to the movies in Brazil is really expensive, you gotta be in the mood for that. So, Tarantino is not like Notting Hill or...
It's not like what?
Notting
Hill.
Notting Hill or like, I don't know. It has a style. And you know that the movie will be long. You know that the movie will talk about a lot of different like stories and place every single character and understand their story behind it. So in the end, that's what he does. It's not a spoiler at all. He can connect everyone.
Yeah.
So you have to be there like, okay, I'm going to learn about 10 different stories right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to digest at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you are a Tarantino fan, I don't think you will be disappointed.
No, but it's not the best for me.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good. It was enjoyable. If you're not a Tarantino fan, probably a good one to wait and watch when it's available in your house, but worth watching.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I mean, you're gonna see Leo, Brad Pitt doing an amazing job. Both of them are great.
Yeah, Brad Pitt with his shirt off for a little while.
You were talking about that. I wasn't.
So, Alexia, apart from Brad Pitt taking his shirt off very briefly, what would you say was your favorite thing about this movie?
I'm gonna make a joke right now, but the dog.
There is a fantastic dog, but if
Yeah.
you watch the movie, you will understand why that's a joke. I think my favorite thing was just seeing kind of his depiction of Hollywood in the, I guess this was the 50s, right? No, 50s,
No.
60s, 70s,
Yeah.
70s, 80s. Sorry, yeah.
It was Charles Manson era.
Okay, yeah. But just kind of that old hippie vibe of Hollywood with parties, and they go to the Playboy Mansion. Not that I'm endorsing or saying I'm a fan of the Playboy Mansion. Don't know why I mentioned that. I'm just saying, seeing that time period, he did a really good job with the music. And
Yes. But that's my point. I think that because he is very good at everything that he does, maybe I was expecting more
yeah,
about it. Because for me, okay, he knows how to show Hollywood, how to show hippie people. He knows how to do all of that. And for me, Django Unchained and Bastard, ai, amor.
Django Unchained,
Django Unchained
Inglorious Bastards.
and Inglorious Bastards were amazing because it wasn't a reality at all for me.
Right. Yeah, I understand that completely. So, Alexia, any last words about Tarantino before we probably do not mention him on the podcast for at least another year?
Yeah. If you are a fan, go watch it. You won't regret it. If you are not a fan, watch a lot of his movies before and then make a decision.
Okay. Strange advice, but I think that's a good place to end for today. Tomorrow we will be back in your earphones or speakers or whatever you're doing, talking about some cool TV shows.
Okie dokie. Bye.
See you later.